What I've actually found is that the localness of the institution seems to matter. So a borrower that gets their loan from a local bank is less likely to default on their mortgage than a borrower who gets their loan from a non-local bank. And I'm particularly focusing on higher risk borrowers who have credit scores, for example, below 660. We generally think of those as the subprime borrower, the type of borrower who lower income, more likely to default on their mortgage in general. And I find that this localness seems to matter for that population. Doesn't seem to matter so much for those that have credit scores above 660 or the lower risk borrowers. For them, the market seems to be operating quite efficiently. But for these lower income, higher risk borrowers, I find that the door that they walk into seems to matter in terms of their loan performance. One is related to the community responsibility that the lenders feel. So they may be more invested in the community. Their reputation, their long-term sustainability as an institution is very dependent on that local community. So because of that, we've talked before, or people talk about Community Reinvestment Act and the importance of the community to regulate the lender, not just the federal government or the state governments, but that the community actually has a very important role to play. When a lender's legitimacy is really bundled up in that local community, i.e. their market share is highly invested in that community, then they may be more sensitive to that local type of regulation. Another reason I draw from the small business literature, and this is this idea of relationship lending. And what this says is that for borrowers that have higher risk, that they may lack the signals to, the market signals to say they're a credible borrower. So if you just look at their market signals, we may say your credit score is very low, you're a high-risk borrower. But when a borrower has a relationship with the bank, they're able to interact with that banker may be able to access something called soft information, or information that we know that this person is more motivated to make their payments over time. So you may have two borrowers who have the exact same credit score. If we were to use hard measures like credit score or income, we would say equal likelihood of default. But the bank that has the relationship with the borrower may be better able to figure out which borrower is more likely to repay over time because of the relationship they've established.